So, you will recall yesterday we went over the first three properties of parallelograms. Today we're going to focus on the last property. So when you have a parallelogram, the diagonals bisect each other. Okay, what does that mean in English? Andy, what does it mean that the diagonals bisect each other?
It bisects.
What does bisect mean? What does it mean? If I bisect something, what have I done? Cut it in half. So in other words, if I have a parallelogram, and I draw diagonals, it means that this line segment is congruent to that line segment, and this line segment is congruent to that line segment. That's what it means to bisect. Said yesterday was write it down, but we're not going to talk about it until today. So now it's today. Now we're talking about it. Alright, so how do we apply that?
Oh, no, that was number 2. Oh, you guys wrote it down yesterday.
Okay, now we can use that information to find the lengths of the line segments. So here I have a parallelogram. I'm told that KP is y plus 10. So here's y plus 10. I'm told that LP is equal to x. That PM is 2x minus 8. And that PN is y minus 2. Okay, so what do we know? What do we know about these two line segments? What do we know about LP and PN? They are equal in length. So we can say that x is equal to y plus 2. We can say the same thing about the other two line segments. So we can say that y plus 10 is equal to 2x minus 8. Prakaya, what do you see as a problem here that's going to give us trouble in trying to solve these equations? What looks kind of weird as compared to all the other equations we've ever done? There's a y. We not only have an x, but we have a y. We have two equations and two variables. Okay? But notice something about one of the equations. What do we know about x? It equals y plus 2. So what that means we can do is in this equation, in the second equation, where we see the x, we can substitute y plus 2. We know that x is equal to y plus 2, so we can substitute. Okay, so now how do I expand this? What property of math do I need to use? I need to use the distributive property. So I get y plus 10 is equal to what? 2 times y gives me 2y, 2 times 2 gives me 4, and then minus 8. And I'm going to rewrite this up here so that I have more room to work. Carla, what's the next step in solving this equation? I do want to get the y by itself, but before I can do that, like terms, I want to combine my like terms. You see any like terms on this side, Carla, that I might combine? Can you tell me what they are? 4m. Positive 8, negative 8. Okay, so I get that y plus 10 is equal to 2y, what? What's 4 minus 8? Negative 4. Good. Now, Anna, what's the next step? I'm going to subtract y from both sides. Okay, so that gives me 10 is equal to y minus 4, and then what? Add the 4 to the 10. So I get that y is equal to 14. Okay, so I want to know the lengths of km and ln. So it's not enough that I know what y is. But I can start filling in some information. Somebody, let's see. Bill, based on what you now know about y, give me the value of one of these line segments. So Kp is 24. So we can say that Kp is equal to 24. What do we then know about Pm, Bill? That's right. Pm is also 24 because this line segment is congruent to this line segment. So that Kp is 24 and Pm is 24, which means that Km is how long? 48. Gabby, now I want you to look at these two line segments and tell me the length of one of them. LP and PN. Of one of them, either LP or PN. Can't? Anybody disagree with Gabby? Riley?
PN equals 16.
PN equals 16. How do you know?
We already know y, so it's 14.
We know that y is 14. 14 plus 2 is 16. So we know that Pn is equal to 16, which means this entire length is how long? 32. Because if this is 16, we know that this is 16. And therefore, the whole thing is 32. Well, I don't care what x equals, but yes, it does equal 16. I only had to find what y equals. All right. And I'm going to change tonight's homework because I want you to do one of these. What? Okay. I want you to do this one. But for tonight's homework, I don't want you to do 8 through 16. I want you to do 8 through 12. Or, yeah, 8 through 12. But I also want you to do this one in the time we have remaining. I'm going to give you 4 minutes.